always leave them wanting more. That's what I say.
Or
never leave them wanting less.
Yeah, give them less, maybe.
Well, wouldn't that mean leaving early and not showing up late? Right?
Yeah.
Even wanting more implies that. Well, I don't know. They have seen the show before, so maybe not.
Well, not
they
necessarily.
Already want less if they have seen the show before.
Oh, look at that! That's from my wrestling council.
Volume. Hold on.
Whoa!
Got it.
Turn your radio down, first time caller.
Yeah, really. Jeez. Hey, Corey.
What's up?
Bruja. Jill, Coffee Junkie.
Oh, Fantastic Comics is here. Hey, Fantastic.
Hey, Fantastic Comics.
Hey, Lowell Stamp. Man,
hey, Diablo. Hi,
here.
Diablo Hashcraft. Hey, Fantinuum.
Are there any other sock puppets that we can inflate the numbers with? I'm not in there, so sorry.
Hold on. Let me jump in. No, I'm
already in there.
I can get in there a second or third time.
I already liked the video earlier today. So, or even yesterday, you can go in and just like it.
I'm not doing that.
It's like a hit and run.
That's so
yeah.
It's so yesterday. That's so early 90s internet.
Yeah, right? No, I liked it yesterday. I liked it today. I like it tomorrow.
What's your new tech? What's your new tech?
I have new headphones.
Let's see them turn sideways. Come on.
Yep.
Oh, they look comfortable.
Oh.
No strings.
I do like wireless. I do.
A regular Pinocchio situation.
That's right, exactly.
I did too, Bruja. I did too. I bought all my new tech on the government doll.
So what'd you get?
I upgraded my CPU and my
CPU.
What did I buy? I bought a motherboard and a CPU for my computer. Upgraded.
Sounds like Tron.
Yeah, I guess so. For the uninitiated, I can understand that.
That's me all the way.
I know. Your brother knows what I'm talking about.
He definitely does. In fact, he was setting up the
He
computers
knows what a
at the store
CPU
today.
is. There's no question.
No question.
This is the brain of the computer, everyone, that we're talking about. The brains.
Not to be confused with the master control terminal.
The second brain, which is the stomach.
You've been missed, Jeff, by the way.
Stomach is the second brain.
Me? Oh, thanks.
People noticed. They were they were a little bit rebellious, in fact. They were like, these two guys? No. There's supposed to be a triangle here. It's upside down in this case, but it goes like that. It's like Zelda shit, right?
Oh, Triforce.
Yeah.
Oh, Yule eats crow.
I'm going to eat some crow.
Oh, good. I love crow. Crow tastes terrible.
Like
really?
Live?
If my grandmother were to answer that question, she would say that, yes, crow tastes terrible. She doesn't like to eat crow.
Live on the air?
Who does?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a metaphoric.
Fricassee? No, metaphoric. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna
metaphorically listen to this story.
All right, so we've been before we get on to you, let me tell you what we've been doing since people are actually concerned about this situation. Fantastic Comics, like the shirt, has relocated to 1708 A on MLK Way. And we
officially,
yeah.
Does that mean that you are no longer paying downtown Berkeley rent?
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of been that way for a while.
The lease was up.
Boom! That's a win.
When the lease is up, you stop paying rent. That's
I didn't know if they were going to have to reimburse for the time that they were closed and all. I mean, it's a big mess. If you go into debt with rent and that's the plan, then that's a terrible idea. But I didn't know.
As of right now, our landlords have been very cool about everything. We've not been open for the entire month we were paying for.
Yeah.
And then it's basically been storage. If we have to give them some money, I'm sure we could come to an agreement, but we pretty much got everything out that we need to make the other store operational. There's some stuff like paperwork, some comic books that we still need to take over, some things we need to box up and take over to Eugene's house. But overall, we've got everything in the storage. Jeffrey today was hooking up the computers, talking about CPUs and stuff like that. We've got our hard drive, we've got our all the stuff, our server and all that stuff going. We just need the internet to be hooked up tomorrow, and then in a day or two, phones. And we will actually be able to take for like legitimate curbside service, which was one of the things we found out yesterday. So we have emailed Diamond, and it probably won't be next week, but probably the next week, we're going to get that last shipment we were going to get before we closed. And then this week's comics, which is just some DC books. And then next week's comics will all be all in one lump sum, which we were really worried about. But some of those loans that we were, that we put came back, and we actually got some money, and like the PPP loan. And we also got I guess a stipend or something from Berkeley, which was nice. And then here's where I eat crow. So let me share screen. Actually, let me get this up first.
Are y'all going to have parking?
How
hard
parking is better for people, but it's still a residential area. So
I remember it not being that bad
around the corner.
Yeah, a block
it'll
away,
be fine.
half a block
a block
away,
away, 2 blocks away.
Yeah,
just go down a side street, not on
and
MLK.
free.
You'll be fine.
No meters either.
No,
right.
On Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month, second Wednesday of the month, opposite sides of the street have street cleaning, and you will get a ticket.
Obviously, it's Berkeley.
Yeah. Let me share the screen, and then you can see how I eat some crow, because as you can see, we got a check today as I came into the old store.
Oh, that's great.
The the Bink.
Bink?
Yeah.
The Bink is what they're called.
Yep.
Came through.
Yeah.
We got money from them.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
So there's me eating some crow.
The squeaky wheel. No, is that eating crow? That sounds like the squeaky wheel gets
I
the
disagree
grease,
with you guys. This crow tasted good.
Oh,
I'm sure it did. But no, in the beginning, when he was first talking about this, one, he didn't do his research at all, and two, he was just naysaying the whole thing as though it was going to get mismanaged and put into people's pockets.
Wow.
All right,
and
so
then he changed his mind.
That's bullshit.
No, it's not. These things are recorded, buddy. These things are recorded.
Well, you know what? You go and clip it. I'm calling you.
I don't need to.
As bullshit.
I don't need to. Anybody that cares can go look.
Anyway, what I'm saying
That's
was
nobody.
I was like, this is like all Fast and Furious stuff that's coming out right now. It's like one day, like we're on Tuesday night, and sometimes things are happening minutes before we're getting on. And it's like you can't really follow up. And the Bink Foundation, which is, from the Comics for Creators, and, you look into it, I can only look so far at the beginning, but it's because of our conversation that we had that it caused me to say, hey, Jeff, my brother, Jeff, why don't you sign up for Bink and see what's up, so that we could find out. And, other stuff came out about some of their old tax returns, and how they only pay 40% of what comes in because, administrative, lawyer, all that other stuff.
They got to pay their bills too.
Without a doubt. But I mean, that's something that got brought up, but it wasn't last year's. It was from a couple years ago. And it's maybe some of that information is just coming quick, but I mean, I don't have time to screw around with that. And I wouldn't even know where to start. So anyhow, Bink, and I tweeted as Fantastic Comics saying that we were a little salty at first, but Bink really came through, and I thank Sam Humphries for his tireless work and his pals, and that includes Jim Lee. We talked about him doing sketches for people, and that money also went through. Yeah, so
yeah,
pretty cool. And and it's we were worried about having to pay this lump sum for Diamond when we don't even know how many customers are actually able to come back, or how many want that stuff after the fact, and all the other stuff that goes in with that. And wow, we basically have that pretty much paid for, and that's pretty awesome. And it allows us to take a breather and not have to worry. And it's the Bink and the other things that we got on. It's not necessarily just one thing that's paying for all of it, but we can actually open up with new product in a pretty cool or pretty quick amount of time. Considering how much Marvel's actually, they're not really going to be putting out like heavy amounts right now. And DC's putting a lot out, but it's not like a crazy amount. Although I've been on a couple shows. I've been on I had a couple of interviews with this guy Wes from Thinking Critical, and one of them was the Jokers, the 20-issue Joker War Batman story, the 3 Jokers, and the Gold Lantern stuff. And that's a lot of stuff that's going on in a quick amount of time in the next couple months.
I'd rather have 0 Jokers. Maybe I'm in the minority with that opinion, but my preferred, keep Joker as a Batman villain.
Well, I mean, this is the Joker War, so I'm assuming there is some villainy going on.
Yeah, of course. But at the same time, I don't like when he's like the focus of an event or his own series. Not my favorite.
Yeah, Joker.
That's just me. Or his own movie. Not my favorite.
I'll tell you what, there have
not
been
interested.
A lot of Batman fans or people that buy Batman religiously, and it's often because of the villains and mostly because of the Joker. So I don't know why, but there's a lot of people that really like the Joker, and I can see it. And this is why, I don't know, man. We just have the Joker so much all the time. I just don't even really like talking about it.
There are other Batman villains who are also cool.
Like the Riddler?
Riddler,
yeah, I think, is the only one I really like.
What
else? Who else? You like the Penguin? You big on him? You like the Kingpin of Crime Penguin? You like that style? Or do you just like the... Well, I mean, he runs that casino out in the Gotham, whatever. So Joker. If I like Joker, it's going to be the mustache version from the Adam West.
Sure.
What's his name?
No, I agree. I'm on record for that one because I feel like he understood that he is just playing a stupid cartoon character, and so it's not worth shaving your mustache for, let alone going insane and killing yourself. Or whatever.
Oh, Two-Face.
Whatever these modern Jokers do. Although the guy won an Oscar. Yeah, a Joker Oscar. So what do I know? I feel like
Two-Face is a good villain, but he got dressed down so much by the Joker in a Scott Snyder, I think it was Death of the Family storyline. He punked him out like verbally so much that I just can't even buy him as a villain anymore. I mean, he was like, all the villains laugh at you. He said this to Two-Face, and he just really made him look so horrible that I don't feel that strongly about him either anymore.
I never have really.
Thank you, Jim.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think that he's got a great rogues gallery. Batman. That is Joe Chill. Now that guy. Whew, yeah.
All right. Very good. How was your week, guys? Jeff, start with you. How you doing?
All right. I don't know. The days kind of blend one into the next, and who knows?
And let's get this right. You're not working right now, right?
No, I'm furloughed, as they say.
Collecting unemployment, though.
Unemployment, fun enjoyment. Yeah. Yeah.
I got one of those checks.
A check?
It wasn't a check.
A card. A plastic
I actually
card.
got a check for the $1,200.
Don't lose that card.
But I got the card, yes.
No, don't. I won't lose it. But yeah, I got direct deposited the 12 hundo, the stimmy. Went straight to my
straight to your
bank
veins.
account. Yeah, straight to my veins, my electronic financial veins.
Oh man, I just mean like bloodstream.
Sure. Oh, are we going off?
No.
No. Oh, no. Oh, hey,
it's 16 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 16 minutes. We don't have to abide by any rules.
No, that's true. But I try to be a little polite sometimes.
Is that a rule?
No, not really a rule.
No.
There are no rules. Ain't no rules.
So all the days are blending together. You're not working. What are you doing at home to pass the time?
Better be reading.
I'm reading some comics. Yeah, I'm reading comics. I'm also watching television in the I'm trying to watch stuff that I don't care too much about. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of the Star Wars Clone Wars
the cartoon.
show. Yeah, the cartoon, the CGI cartoon, not the really good Clone Wars one. That was the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, but this one's pretty good. I don't know. It's fine. It's you know what? It
got
really
better.
Passes the time.
It got better quickly too. Like the first couple episodes were not so great, and then they got quite better.
Oh yeah, it's getting better all the time. Which is a thing that a turn of phrase that I just coined.
Yeah,
nice. I like that. Way to go. That's some classic Trump there.
Put that on a T-shirt.
What was he? Did you remember what he said that for? Like Stitch in Time. I think I must have come up with that or something. I don't. It wasn't that, but
I don't remember that. I mean, it's up for debate how many a Stitch in Time actually saves.
If you want to see a tour of the store, I have it with less furniture in it on our YouTube page already, and I'll post another one more full from today later. So check back on that. And last week we mentioned Marty Pasco dying. I read a lot of his Superman. Obviously, he did Swamp Thing. Worked in comics for years. Those are the main ones for me personally. I don't know. Speaking of people that died, let's see. Oh shoot, what am I doing here? There we go. Fred Willard and Eddie Haskell.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Oh, I screwed up. I can't remember.
Why is Fred Willard all caps and Eddie Haskell's like whispering?
Because Eddie Haskell is not his real name.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
Fred Willard is a man. Eddie Haskell is a fictional character.
Got it. So the man yells.
Do I get a no prize? Do I get a no prize for that?
You do. That's exactly.
Explanation.
I'll mail it to you later via the post office. I'll spin the rack. Let me see what it can do.
Spin a rack.
Assuming they remain solvent.
I have DC here mostly, but those are the Star Wars that I got because of the ones that you got me. The Carlos Meglia. Let me make it full.
Oh yeah.
Superman Annual, 0 Hour Challengers. Those are done by Keith Giffen.
Yes.
And here's some Marvel. So we have the Walt Simonson Fantastic Fours. These are John Byrne Hulks, Wolverine one-shots, Spider-Woman, Daredevil. And these are like undergrounds or independents from when I was a kid mostly. Leather Nun, Futurian, Slaughterman. That's a Comico one. The Savage Dragon by Jason Pearson. Flaming Carrot.
Yeah. Flaming Carrot up there. Yeah. What's underneath that? Grendel? Is that?
Yeah, probably. Maybe some Grendel. Up on top, you can't see it. I got some
turtles.
cherry.
Is that turtles?
Fish. Fish Police. Yeah,
Oh,
Turtles.
Fish Police. Yeah, I see that.
I did a video on Fish Police.
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
remember.
cool. It's got Megan Mullally in it. So if you're a fan of hers,
watch it, but don't
Badger.
report Yule for his use of Megan Mullally.
Megan Mullally. No, I think it was a legit reason to use her. Let me get me smaller.
No, that's not necessary.
Oh, that's my rat.
Who's this chimp?
This chimp. It's Captain Moo, is what it is. So ATN, Captain Moo.
Yeah.
How's your week? Let me know. Why aren't you feeling well?
Exercise.
Exercise means
running.
You should be feeling better, right?
Yeah, it didn't work out that way for whatever reason. The really, really dry air like wreaks havoc on my lungs. So I didn't do this when I was living in Colorado, and it's equally dry there, and the altitude is about 1,000 feet lower. So it might be that 1,000 feet of altitude that makes running maybe it's something I have to build up to, because it's certainly not going so well right now. I've been coughing nonstop for like 3 days.
You're 1,000 feet lower.
No,
here.
Higher.
No, you're 1,000 feet higher in New Mexico than you were in Colorado?
Yes,
Weird.
I'm over a mile here, and I was below a mile there.
Wow. Oh,
but
dude, over a mile. Fuck, yeah, that's not good.
Hey, man, it's fine. You just have to go a little slower to start off with. If you can adapt to low oxygen, you can do great things.
Have you been chewing cocoa leaves?
No, but I did run out of kratom. So,
So we may be in the market for substitute.
I don't know. I'm not even going to the store anymore. Like, I've kind of just stopped altogether. Like, it's just not. I'm not into it right now. Like, sobriety has been good for me lately. You know, maybe you don't. I don't know. It's just a thing. It happens every couple of years. I just don't care anymore.
Sobriety.
Yeah, you've heard of it, I'm sure.
I have. It sounds like a 4-letter word to me.
I've dabbled in it.
I have
Not
something
of course.
that happened to me this week that actually pertains to you, ATN.
I got something to tell Diablo Hashcraft right now.
Oh yeah, do that.
Uh-oh.
Diablo Hashcraft, you have no idea.
About neti pots?
Oh no, maybe it's this.
Are you?
Maybe it's about this coyote.
Oh,
we get to chat in a little late. We get a delay with you. And lungs are overrated.
They're flowering right now.
What is Datura?
Datura is something that you don't want to mismanufacture. It's a plant. You use the root for a very potent hallucinogenic, but if you do it wrong, I believe it is fatal.
Poisonous, yeah, pretty deadly.
Oh, awesome.
Toxic at the very least.
I mean, that's the only thing I'd be thinking about is, am I going to die from this?
Yeah, that's a possibility, yeah. It's not one of the ones that you should tinker with, I don't think, unless you know what you're doing.
I got this in the mail.
Well, if you look at that is my super professional packing.
Yeah.
What? Wait.
Did it take any damage? Did it take any damage?
Full screen that.
No.
Full screen that shit.
Full screen this. No, this is the box right here.
Yeah, one string of tape was a little long. As you
Show me
can
the
tell.
other side. Show me the label. No, the stamp. Oh. Damn, that's dope. I mean, I bought a book once.
Did you? I don't think I had the stamp when you got yours.
You didn't.
Yeah,
really,
I hadn't acquired it yet.
Yeah.
ATN, you have some weird.
I got to get back. I'm not allowed to buy books though.
I'm not either. Although I am selling them at this point.
Yeah, I'm about to start myself.
That's good. It's good.
So Jill bought these for me. Thank you, Jill B. Pill. I really only needed the first one. Wait.
What are these?
I only needed the first one, but she got me both of them.
Conan.
Anyhow, thank you, Jill B. Pill. Thank you, ATN.
Sure, man.
What a wonderful packing job.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
What is the deal, though? You say that on Instagram, if I want to buy a book, what do I have to do?
Contact me on Instagram.
Oh, just on Instagram. So just DM you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what did you?
Something else.
Where did you get confused there, buddy?
I think it said to go to another site altogether or something.
If you went to my website, it probably said click here or DM me on Instagram. On Instagram, it just says to claim a book, DM me or something like that. I don't know. I'll look at it right now, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not in charge of the shit around here. Come on.
Well, no one else has said a word, so I think it's just you all.
Yeah, I would agree. I didn't have a problem. I saw the book. I wanted it. I DM'd you or whatever.
I mean, I would really just text him if I wanted.
It.
Probably. Hey, ATN, can you send me this?
That's what Jill did.
See, you know what you do?
No, she didn't.
What?
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't. Really?
She did not text you.
Okay, I don't know what's
She's
going
not
on.
allowed to text outside of the family without Yule's permission. So if she texted you, oh boy.
Annie Silverwolf by R. Mole. How's it going, man? He actually helped me move the last bin from the comic store to the new comic store.
Nice.
So we have 3 of those downstairs, which will be the new video, by the way.
That's awesome.
Wait, 3 of the back issue bins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're all downstairs.
I stand corrected.
Or claims, so I don't think that's unclear, buddy.
Okay, very good. Those covers are the classic paperbacks. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, those are the Frazetta ones.
Yeah.
Which those aren't that old though. Like the number 1 is in real good shape because it's not that old. Which is unfortunate, but whatever. I mean, you pay real money if you want that first one in good shape. And it's old.
Right.
If you want some Michael Moorcock, you can get some more Frazetta covers. He's got really good ones. Michael Moorcock has really good Frazetta covers on some of his stuff. The Ulrich stuff, yeah.
Yeah, downstairs is the VIP room, exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how that third bin fits and how the puzzle pieces all fall together. I'm excited to check it out.
Some of that area is storage, and some of the way we're storing things isn't going to be the way it is ultimately, but we're kind of in a crunch and have to put more things into place than we wanted to. But that's okay. We got other areas to put them. It's just they have to sync up at the right times in order to make that happen.
Yeah, of course.
So right now there's a lot of boxes. But the store is, I even put the new comics from all those weeks ago on the new rack. And yeah, so we have 4 of those now. 4. Before we had 6. But we were already...
So how many bookshelves did you end up with behind the counter? Paperback
5.
shelves.
5.
Oh, you put all 5 back there.
5 or 4? I think it's 5. Yeah. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's it. It's the highest number, 5.
No, 20.
Oh, wait a second. Anyhow,
trying to do math? That's not.
No. So whoever can tell me what Jeff and I were doing, let us know in the chat, please. Jill, wait a second. Hey, Maximo, how's it going?
How long are we going to wait?
To find out how it's going from Maximo?
No, I mean, I thought there was a question asked of chat. Now we're waiting.
No, we aren't. It's not. I'm just saying, look, who cares if they know? It's not that big. It's not the day before yesterday. It's a reference to a television show.
What's the day after tomorrow?
It's not.
That was a great movie.
Okay.
No, it wasn't great.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what was the day after? Wait, which one?
That was the one with
it got cold.
Yeah, the homeless guy.
Donnie Darko had to run from the wind.
And the homeless guy teaches everybody how to survive by
burn the furniture in the library
and put newspaper down your pants.
Yeah,
that'll work in a super.
I don't know why I saw that movie.
Yes, you're probably suffering from pandemic, and you just didn't know what you were doing.
I didn't know it. Even back then, I was suffering from a pandemic that was invisible, even more invisible than this one.
Yeah, that seems right. Terrible movie.
Never saw it.
Funny, but terrible.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one that I can never remember the name of with Tom Cruise, where he goes back in time and Emily Blunt's in it?
Live today, die another day.
It was
live,
called
die, repeat. Live, die, repeat.
I think they changed the name to that, but that wasn't.
They definitely changed the name between its theatrical release and its VOD / DVD, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Live, Die, Repeat thing was like the banner on the poster.
And then they made it the title, but it was initially called
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Yes, that is right.
Wait, wasn't that like
thank you, Fantinuum, and thank you for saying it a second time so that I would see it.
What is that animated movie?
Let's give him the props on that one.
I gotta go look this up.
Let's give him the visual.
Back in a while.
Props. Give that.
All right, very good.
Okay, yeah, sure. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Anyhow, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Fantastic Comics Presents. Finally, good news. And it's good news. We have curbside service available. We're just waiting to get our phone and internet together so that you can contact us. You can still contact us through Twitter. Oh, here, let me get that. Who cares?
Now, I heard you have beef tacos and vegetarian tacos and chicken tacos. Is that true? Do you have shrimp or no? No shrimp.
No. We're not preparing any food, and I don't think you want to be served from this place.
I've been in there.
It's pretty okay. I washed as much as I could, but we're already putting furniture in and zipping it in, so it is what it is. We'll work around everything. But yeah, I think it looks good. I'm liking it. I hope it works out well. This whole thing, obviously.
Did you move the counter out to the edge so that it was flush with the perpendicular counter? You know what I'm talking about? You were talking about pulling it out so that it was flush with the other counter so that it
no, we didn't do that.
No, okay.
No.
So it's a little more walkable inside, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's fun. It's going to be a fun store for everybody. But thankfully, with today's social distancing rules and the face mask and everything, it won't seem so strange at first for people that have shopped in our normal store or the store we've been in for like 8 years plus. And please do wear a mask so nobody feels weird. That would be a cool thing for everybody.
Yeah, please.
Just so nobody has to say anything.
Yeah, bro. Wear a mask.
Bro, wear a mask. Just do me that little solid. I know you're already coming to the store anyway, but wear the mask and you can come inside the store maybe.
I mean, if there's not already one other person.
Well, I'll probably lock the door immediately. You're in the store. You're in.
This is not like a Buffalo Bill situation.
What I was thinking,
you do have a basement, and
I could on nice days, not rainy days, obviously. I could pull a Rory and just sit outside.
Oh,
and I can say, I'm also the bouncer, basically. I'll be like, all right, you can go on in, and I'll sit and I'll talk to the person who's 6 feet away, waiting for that person to get all their crap together, and then you get out. I'll go in, out in.
You'll be smoking. You'll have your big wrist
Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm not going to smoke. That's horrible. But everything other than that, is all right.
Well, people like Rory. I think
Yeah.
that didn't
Everyone
work
loves
for him.
Rory.
So that's not a bad plan there, Yule.
And
wait, people liked him.
yeah,
It
that's
didn't work for him.
Yeah,
but it is a good plan.
It's a key point.
Well, the thing is the space, and his eyes and stomach didn't necessarily match up to how much he really needed to be. And we had so much. I mean, we had so much stuff from this store to that store, and I feel like I was willing to get rid of stuff, unlike Rory.
Right.
And even then, I mean, we had stacks of stuff that we were expecting the library to come pick up, but this thing happened. And like all my plans just like all at once just kind of crashed. Yeah. And it's like, hey Jeff, why don't you go and sign up for that PPP after all? Why don't you do this Bink thing? And just kind of sit and wait and see what Newsom and all the other politicians have to say about this thing. And I guess we got a week early, a little reprieve or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at. We're moving in. We're at the store now. We're still transferring stuff, so we're not really technically open all the way. But again, we're just waiting for our phones and our internet, and we'll be able to take credit card. But if you want to get some stuff that that is already on hold for you, and it's you're ready to read some new stuff, we've got it, and we will have more stuff in the probably, like I said, about 2 weeks. That's all depending on how quick Diamond is about having sent the stuff out. When we got word, we were like, all right, let's do it. But the conversation takes a long time to actually get rolling.
Yeah, of course. Well, hey. And I mean, let's be honest. On their best day, Diamond's not the best. I mean, we can all be honest here.
I think the best
they
thing
struggle with certain things.
Yeah. All right. Let me share this one thing with you guys.
Like cool, like quality.
Wait.
Like awesome. They struggle with those things.
They struggle with awesome.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
No.
All right.
Our comeback will be bigger than our setback.
Hashtag back the comeback, everybody.
Hashback back.
Hashback. Yes, hashback.
I said it twice.
Hashback.
Good. Sounds delicious. Hashtag back the comeback TM.
Yeah, you can actually
That's a trademarked hashtag, bitches.
Yes, it is.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So
how do you trademark a hashtag? Doesn't that kind of go again? Like, the point of a hashtag is for that people to use it freely, and for it to go viral.
We just had that May the 4th be with you thing, where they were kind of suggesting
somebody tried to take ownership of May Disney. The 4th be with you.
Yes.
They were basically saying,
of course,
we're going to use, stuff. Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, it's Disney. I expect them to
do
that. They will do it until it gets to be, the publicity gets to be too bad. Then they'll backtrack, like what they did with that school in Berkeley a couple months ago. They showed some movie, and then Disney was like, you showed our movie to your kids without our permission, so we're suing you. And then the story about that went viral, and then Disney was like, just kidding, here's some money. We're actually gonna give you some money.
That didn't backfire.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, Disney, maybe they just don't have the teeth that they used to have. But I remember when I was, they would sue a fucking preschool for having a painting of Mickey Mouse on the wall. Be like, your kids are coming to this school because of Mickey Mouse, and that's our fucking money.
That's right.
So pay up.
That's right. But not Steamboat Willie, Mickey. You can use that now.
Now you can. That's true.
Woo!
That's true.
So he entered the public domain.
Yeah.
But not Mickey Mouse.
Only that version of Mickey Mouse. But versions of Mickey Mouse will continue to enter the public domain, presumably, until Disney actually gets a literal mouse on the Supreme Court, which I'm sure is coming soon. They'll get some sort of I don't think so.
So that corporate hashtag back the comeback is you can buy that shirt, and proceeds of that will go to the Bink Foundation.
Oh,
who will then give comics money.
Damn sure they will.
If I wanted to be like, so more money is getting spent for something that's going to this place that's giving money out. At least some of it.
Right.
Whew. And it's TM'd. It's trademarked.
I don't understand how that works, but
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It just doesn't make sense to me. But
if you have a trademark, you're obligated to enforce it.
Right.
In order to maintain it, you have to enforce it. So they don't know what they're doing. They just put the TM on there. They didn't realize. You know what I mean? They just thought, "Oh, I'm just going to put a TM here because that means it's good, right?"
I just don't want anyone making a T-shirt. If anyone makes a T-shirt that says hashtag, what was it? Hashtag back our comeback.
Oh yeah. Back the comeback.
Hashback.
Something very memorable.
Hashtag the comeback. Yeah, well, that's the thing, and the hashtags are supposed to be, like a ground swelling,
that they're a grassroots.
A grassroots. Movement. Thank you very much.
What's that term?
Guerrilla marketing.
This is more like astroturfing.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is astroturf.
I mean, of course it is, because Jeppy, who loves comics, is still very much in, promotion, and it might help, and I don't want to like crap all over it because I've already eaten crow today. But it is kind of lame.
You've eaten crow on Bink's dime. They sent you a delicious crow and said, "Have it. Look at this delicious crow. Don't you want to eat it?
Do you want to eat this? Yeah, I'll eat this.
Yeah, I'll eat it live on the air.
No.
Smear it all over.
The thing is that we're getting so quick into, I'm like, all right, give me the comic books. I need them now so I can open up for all these people.
Sure.
Oh, I'm really worried about where I'm going to get that money. I got this stuff. Now I can pay for it. I'm not worried about it anymore. I'm really happy that everything's back to normal, at least as much as it can be. And then you realize not a goddamn thing has changed. I mean, I realize that. All the things that I was saying, like, price point of comic books is too high. Yes. These companies don't get together and put out their events in a coordinated way so that it doesn't seem like it's totally,
right. They should stagger. Like, they could definitely
they've done it in the past, they could do it now. And I mean, it would help, and it wouldn't drown out all the other voices, because here we are going from 6 new comic book racks to 4. And I'm not going to buy all those little titles. And there's no returnability of comic books still. Nobody wanted to talk about it. And now it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you for your Bink money. Thank you for your hashtag back the comeback shirts. Thank you for, don't forget, everybody that uses that hashtag, make sure you at Jeppy, and you have to at like 5 other, or tag 5 other people and whatever. It's all out there. You can check it out. It's sad.
Sounds onerous.
It's like, hey, man, things are cool again. Don't worry about it.
What's Jeppy? What's
Steve
Jeppy?
He's the diamond guy.
The cross-gen guy? Oh.
No, not the cross-gen guy.
What's that guy's name?
I can't remember right now. It might come to me.
I'm being racist, but I know he had an Italian name.
You can be racist against Italians. It's not actually racism.
Yeah, you're right. They're white now. So
ATNs are Italian pass right there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I passed for Italian.
We've got a shield right here.
I
An
passed.
Italian shield.
I mean, I can even do a really, really horrible accent.
How does an Italian get ATN as their name?
They're close to France, ding dong.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
I just never heard it.
I mean, they on the border,
the Alps.
Dude.
The Alps.
You ever heard of the Alps? Huh?
I don't know where they are.
Well, all right, man. Geography lesson 101 here. They're real close to each other, and like
I don't know if that's 101.
Might even have a border.
Be 101, would it? I don't like
here.
102. 102.
Okay. If it's not like Forgotten Realms geography or
that's European
like that.
geography. European geography 101.
Oh, let's.
All right, everybody. Let me get a banner up so that you can know about some channels that I enjoy.
There we go.
What's that? What's that?
I can't see that. It's a map of the world.
Oh, it looked like a map of subway stops.
It's Google Maps. They can't do anything right.
They do lots of stuff right.
I'm sorry. It was Apple Maps. Apple Maps. And they can't do anything right.
No, they can. I agree.
There you go. Well,
Tunisia.
Yeah, it's northern Africa, and yes,
that's
sense.
Tatooine. That's Tatooine.
Well, Tatooine. I know that one.
Yeah.
All right, let me do this.
Everyone knows. Tunisia.
What are we doing?
We're gonna do this. Let me get this.
I want to go to Morocco. I've heard they have just the best food.
That's my name.
Morocco.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Morocco.
Jeff Morocco.
Jeff Morocco.
There's a guy named Chris Morocco that works for Bon Appetit in the test kitchen, and he makes the best videos. He is so funny. Are you kidding?
He's funny. I like him.
I love him.
I would say he makes the best.
He's pretty good, dude. His videos are good.
I love those Bon Appetit test kitchen.
Oh yeah,
they're
fantastic.
That's the job. That's my dream job.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Honestly. I don't even know. I
can
never remember their names. I can never remember their names though.
Claire,
the blonde,
Brad.
Who's the
Molly?
The blonde, Claire.
Molly's the blonde.
All right. Molly.
He loves the name.
Claire's got the streak in her hair. She does all of the professional chef makes junk food videos.
Okay. All right.
That are good, but hard to watch sometimes.
Was Claire? Claire is the blonde one. Is that what you're saying? No, you said Molly is the blonde one. Okay, so she makes a lot of Italian stuff. Yeah, that's what
Carla,
I end up watching a lot.
The woman who's more my age, she's hilarious too. She's age appropriate for me.
I don't watch the elderly.
Carla's
they're going to be making things that are soft and easy to chew and stuff. I don't need that.
She's good, man. She's real good. I highly recommend Carla.
I love pre-chewed food.
Go to Libby's, man.
Libby's?
It's a cafeteria in Texas.
Oh.
Luby's?
All right, I'll be there. Luby's. Luby's?
I think it's Luby's, actually. Yeah. LUBY''S. Yeah, do you remember years and years and years ago there was a... Never mind, I don't want to get into guns. Let's go. Move on.
Okay.
What was this?
Forget it.
You don't want to talk about what you're going to talk about?
I know it's just unimportant.
Well, if you want to later on, go for it.
Okay.
Maybe, whatever.
I won't.
Anyway, Jeff promised us a cool conversation about Black Panther.
Oh, yeah.
Ta-Nehisi Coates has written Black Panther. This is the man right here.
Yeah. That is him. And drawn by the artist who when they started it, it was Brian Stelfreeze, and and Stelfreeze designed all new look for the armor, like the Panther costume, involving all of this kind of like
It's like
iconography that you see. Yeah, yeah.
And what's the deal with his suit?
It's very Kirby like. You can see like whenever there's circles and little up and down lines and like circles and lines connected, I always think of that as Kirby-esque. But like this is how it, like when he puts the Panther armor on, this is how it comes on. You know, like how there's a specific look to how Tony puts his Iron Man armor on. This is the look that they developed for this. And like Stelfreeze did a lot of design work because as we know, he's not a dude who does a ton of issues.
Yeah, he doesn't get he doesn't stick on long. That's for sure.
He did a run. He did all the design. So like he established the look of the book, and then he did a ton of covers even when he wasn't doing the interiors. So like he is definitely the artistic driving force for the first part of this book, before it transitions into outer space, which we'll get to. But
yeah,
like that was that stuff. So like, and then okay, so. People say that this book was slow and boring. Like that was the big complaint, man. That's
sorry.
He was not alone. That's what people say. And like I would agree to an extent because it is a slow build. And in the beginning, like as he was going along, he was being very ambitious, and he was writing for the trade. I mean, I don't know that he thought of it that way, but like it was clearly writing for the trade because it was like novelistic, where he was like slow building stuff for much later on.
And a lot of world building, right?
But a lot of world building, but he wasn't doing it in a way that an experienced comic writer might do it, because he was not. So it was kind of like the building out phase was maybe not as month to month dynamically interesting as it could have been. But okay, so now we're looking at go back one to that black and white thing. That was so Chris Sprouse basically comes in and takes the baton from Brian Stelfreeze, and he does a lot of the in-between stuff, like and the stuff that's not Stelfreeze. Like Stelfreeze comes back and does a couple issues and then dips out again, but Sprouse is very consistent.
Which wasn't always the case with him either. Not until he did Tom Strong did he really come out with consistent work, I think.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, Walden Wong is the inker who usually works with him and does really, really great work. And like, even on the issues where it's just where Sprouse is only credited with layouts, and then Wong does finishes, whatever that means. Finishes, usually to me, that means like they're doing most of the legwork.
Yeah.
But like it always looks good. So Walden Wong, props to you. They do a great job, and I love Chris Sprouse. I love his work on this book is really good.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
But yeah, so it's a slow build. But here's my thing. My thing is, I feel like if they had done this right, like if they had done this like they did with Hickman on the X-Men, where they had done like things that DC does all the time now, and even back with the like Ellis Wildstorm, like if they had said, okay, we're going to promote this as the Coates line of Black Panther books that are all tied together, because there were like 3 different miniseries that came out during this run of comics, and they all tie in.
So what were those? World of Wakanda.
World of Wakanda, which ties in a little bit. And then there's Rise of the Black Panther, which ties in a lot. And then there's Shuri, which ties in a little bit also. And then I think there was another one.
There was that Brian Hill.
The Crew.
Oh, The Crew. That's right. Where they're in. They're like Bohemians in Harlem or something like that.
Right. That also only tied in a little bit. Like, that didn't tie in that much, but it was good. But Rise of the Black Panther is really kind of key to this whole run. And it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend that. But the other ones also tie in. But I think if they had promoted it in that kind of a way, where they were saying, like, here's this guy and we're making Black Panther very important, and we're making this line of books important, and they all tie together. Like, but they never promoted it in such a way that it would say that they really tied together. I don't know.
How did this Black Panther tie in, or how did it emulate the movie? Because I didn't really read all of these and I didn't see the movie. Did it take advantage of the fact that there was a movie going on? And it did
later on. Well, I mean, when it started, I think the movie was still being made, or was just starting to be made.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But it definitely ties in. I mean, they definitely try to bring back stuff, because, you know, the movie has a bunch of characters who were not really in play, like Killmonger and the man-ape M'Baku. And Naki. Like, there were a bunch of characters who were not really in play. And then they he does try to bring them back in a certain way. I don't want to say too much about, like, the end of where we're starting, like the issues that are still to come.
Right.
That's an awesome sketch. Like, that's a Stelfreeze sketch in somebody's book at a con, nice. And like, that's just dope.
Yeah. All right. So is this Sprouse?
Yeah, that's a Sprouse page. Yeah.
I like him. Yeah. He's still one of my favorites. I wish he had a longer run on Legionnaires. That's when, like,
oh yeah,
I first, like, really
that was when I first
awesome. Yeah,
agreed. Me too. That was when I first started.
Like,
who is this guy?
Yeah.
What did he do before that, though?
I think that might have been it, but I'm sure there was something. All right, so
then after that, like, okay, so it starts slow, and then it builds, and then, like, I would say when it switches to the legacy numbering at 166, it starts to get a little more superhero-y. There's that whole arc with Claw, where, you know, there's a lot of action and superhero type of fighting action. And then all of a sudden, as that comes to a head, it ends, and we start with this.
Oh wait, this is an old.
That's picture. A Stelfreeze.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, here we go.
But yeah, okay. So this is from that first issue
of the Intergalactic Black Panther
Intergalactic,
story.
Where it just kind of dumps you right into it.
Yeah, and he's not even really the main character initially in this, or, I mean, he is, but you don't really.
Well, we don't know and you don't really know, because all of these characters that you're introduced to in the very beginning, they all have names of that are based on characters that we've been seeing in the book, right? So there's a Nakia, there's an M'Baku, there's a T'Challa, but you're like, they're in space, and it's unclear how it all connects back.
And if
now,
I remember correctly,
it is a little slow in that it takes 12 issues to finally reveal exactly how this T'Challa is our T'Challa, which he is. And spoiler alert, but these comics are these comics are a year old, so
yeah,
it's
really.
okay.
No, that's good because I didn't read
maybe
all the way
2
through.
years old. All right, so yeah, this is an issue from and that's Space M'Baku on the left there, and that's T'Challa in the middle, and that's Nakia.
Now, did Shuri have something to do with? Wait, is it Shuri?
Shuri was at home while T'Challa was in space. Shuri was at home. That's where the Shuri solo series that her series takes place basically during the time where he's in space, and no one in Wakanda knows what happened to him because he disappeared.
I see.
Him and Eden, who is Manifold from the Jonathan Hickman Secret Warriors and Avengers and stuff. So they went into space and disappeared, and then Shuri has to kind of take over Wakanda in the interim, even though she doesn't want to. And so that's where that series takes place.
Right.
But then he comes back eventually. Spoiler. I don't want to spoil too much because this whole thing is still going on.
Wait, you're telling me an IP of a major motion picture company isn't killed off?
I mean, he eventually
comes back up. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
This wasn't lasting. How do you feel about it?
Change was not lasting. That's so weird.
Yeah, I know, really. How do you feel about it as a story, considering that, change isn't, forever? Are you okay with that?
I really like it because like the changes that they've introduced. So in the first part, like the slow build portion of the story, basically involved him throwing away the monarchy and instilling a democratic republic. Like he is changing the overall political landscape of Wakanda for the first time in generations or whatever. This is dope. This is this page right here.
Is this Acuna?
Yeah, Acuna did the first part.
This is him?
Yeah, this is him. It's
Damn,
great.
This is good for him.
He's doing great.
There's a lot more definition in, like, he usually is like so heavy on like one flat color, kind of.
Yeah, no, like, I feel like I don't know. He's definitely I feel like he's advancing in his use of digital painting. I think maybe that's what's happening because he's really kicking ass. Like this is the best work I've ever seen from Acuna. And that's the bad guy, the big bad guy of the Wakandan Empire. He's the emperor of Wakanda, of the space empire, N'Jaka. And that is a symbiote Black Panther suit. So he's part Venom. And,
dude, that's sharp looking. I gotta admit, man, Venom really Venom mixes well.
Yeah. I mean, it was going around.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is like the last issue.
That
came out.
So many months
before COVID. But yeah, this is also Acuna. Look at that. That's
that's cool.
As hell looking, man. T'Challa piloting, and like it's very Star Wars. Like it's a space opera. It's like he gets out there and finds out that he has to like combat this intergalactic empire that is oppressing people and enslaving people using Wakanda's name. And it's like, it's dope. It's really good. And like, I'm really looking forward to the end. It's coming up, issue 25. It's like 3 issues away, the end of the series. And then Coates is leaving and who knows what's going to happen after that. But
And I know I'm pretty sure I have the first volume at the store of the Intergalactic Black Panther. I might have the beginning of the Coates run altogether. So,
well, like they all, like
it
all builds. It all builds. Like you could start with the Intergalactic with no problem, but it all builds on what came before. They do a really good job. If you like, I don't know about in the trades, but issue to issue, both there's always in every issue there's like a page in the beginning to catch you up, and then a page at the end with like, yeah, here's what we just saw. Like here's the these are the different planets that just got introduced, and these are the different races that are on those planets, and these are how they relate to the Empire. Like it just like, you know, it's very Hickman-esque in that sense, in that it's like it's keeping you up to date with all of this information, because it's dumping a ton of information on you.
So what do you think Black Panther fans from the past would still be cool with it? Does he do anything like so crazy that it will piss people off, or is he pretty respectful for the character? I mean, how do you feel like Ta-Nehisi Coates does when it comes to Black Panther?
No, I think it's great. I think like the only thing that you might have an issue with is him kind of like his run has really been emphasizing the fact that T'Challa has no real interest in being a king. Like that it's not in him to be a king. Like it's not what he wants. And so he's trying, and also he doesn't necessarily agree with the concept of monarchy. So he wants to transition he's just like changing the landscape of Wakanda in a way that, I don't know. I can see how someone might come along and erase that, because like, why the Black Panther has to be the king of Wakanda, and so the like I could see that whole thing getting erased. But that's just the way of corporate comics. Someone comes along and tells an awesome story, and then they decide that it would be too hard to actually follow it up, and instead they'll just reset everything.
Well, you see people from outside of comics come in and do comics. An easy example, and it's not like it's really crap or anything, but like let's say Kevin Smith, or oh no, even better than, well, let's Kevin Smith. Let's keep it with him. Okay. He comes in and he does Daredevil with Quesada to kick off the Marvel Knights thing going on, and he kills Mysterio, via suicide, and he kills Karen,
killed Karen Page.
Karen Page, exactly. Gave her AIDS, made her, basically killed her. I'm not even basically. He totally did. And this was like a lasting thing that happened during this time. But that's kind of what you expect new writers or people from outside to come in and do.
Well, I mean, let's not forget about Identity Crisis.
Oh, right? Yeah. I was actually going to go on to like Joss Whedon instead, but Identity Crisis is even better because a novelist, David Meltzer, right?
Yes.
He's a crime guy, and he kills off Elongated Man's wife and basically pisses all over this one character. And at the same time, basically mind wipes Zatanna mind wipes Batman because he knows all this horrible stuff that the Justice League allowed to have happen. It's an intriguing story, and if you don't read comics very often, you probably would look at this and go, wow, this is a really awesome story.
It would have made a great Elseworlds.
Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't even matter because it's got all these cliches and tropes. Oh, she died. Oh, and they were trying to have a kid. And she was pregnant. And, on and on and on. It's kind of hack. And that's what you get when you get a crime novelist coming into comics.
Well, but sometimes. I mean, yeah, because Greg Rucka. Let's not forget Greg Rucka.
Well, I think Greg Rucka is a better...
I mean, also, people like that David Liss Black Panther run. I never read it, but...
it was good. I like that one. And I didn't know his history. But there was that Swerzinski that did Moon Knight, and I personally did not like that. And I've come across a lot of people that did. I just keep my mouth shut. You like that trash?
Hey,
Keep it shut now.
everybody likes something.
No, without a doubt. And I like crap all the time. But whew. All right, let me see.
But yeah, I'm excited for the end of that Black Panther run. Everything is coming to a head. And I want to find out what's going to happen with all the Nameless and what's going to happen with Killmonger has come back to life. And
well, we've done a very good job selling Black Panther in our store. We have a lot of people that really like it. I think it wasn't necessarily because of the movie. It was actually because Ta-Nehisi Coates was writing it.
Yeah.
And then the movie came out, and then we got a lot of people buying not only this stuff, but we were getting them in on the Kirby stuff, and the Christopher Priest stuff was coming out in complete form.
Oh, yeah.
The Reggie Hudlin stuff was coming out. Reggie Hudlin was not necessarily my favorite, but when they go to Louisiana and it's like all the black superheroes, Marvel U, it's so good. But that was an excellent story. And it's during Hurricane Katrina.
Coates has also done a kind of a good job kind of tap dancing on the Storm issue where they're obviously they're not married anymore. That whole thing is gone and it's never coming back. But they're still an item and they're he's
pretty
hot and heavy. They're pretty hot and heavy.
Wait. All right. So he dreams about her in the Intergalactic when I remember he was like a slave during that time.
Right. When he didn't have before he had his memories back and he didn't know who he was.
And we're like, is this T'Challa? This is obviously Storm, but it could be all sorts of Marvel craziness. Right. So she actually shows up later on during this.
She does show up later on during this. During this. I mean, they come. I mean, spoiler alert. Again, this went on. This storyline has been going on for 2 years. It's been going on for 2 years now. So, but no, before he left, like at the end of the last series, volume 6 of Black Panther,
Earthbound,
which was issue like 173. I don't know. No,
one. A Nation, a Million.
It ended in the one, A Nation Under Our Feet. That was the first storyline.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I don't know. They had been having some romantic entanglements previous to him going into space and getting lost. And then like while he's in space, she's hanging out with Shuri being like, what the fuck? Where'd he go?
No, I don't think Bishop was in that one. Okay, so it was when Reggie Hudlin. Think about the time when Storm marries Black Panther. A few issues before that, there's a excavation or whatever. There's a mission to go to Louisiana. And there's like Brother Voodoo's involved, Captain Marvel's involved, or Monica Rambeau's involved, and all sorts of other.
Yeah. I love when Monica Rambeau is involved.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't Black Panther like hires Luke Cage to be his guard or something like that. And it's just so cool that they all end up being in the same place. And because she lives in that area, and anyway, it's cool. But Black Panther and the Crew is when there was a time in like the 40s when something was going on. And then there's a time in the present, and you're seeing the gentrification of Harlem, basically. Right. And I don't know how great it was, but I read the first issue and thought it was pretty good. And as far as Bishop being in that other one, I don't remember him being.
It was slow. No. The Crew was a bit slow, and it never sped up.
That did that one?
Like it. And what's that?
Was that Rachel Gay that did that? I can't remember. She did.
No, that was just Coates.
Oh, it
doing
was.
the crew.
She did World of
No,
Wakanda with him.
Roxanne Gay. Roxanne Gay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she did World of Wakanda, I think. Yes, and then like Evan Narcisse or
Oh,
Narcisse.
yeah, that's right.
He did Rise of the Black Panther. That was the best of all of them in my estimation.
I heard Killmonger was the
but Coates
co-wrote.
Coates was credited as co-writer on all of those.
Oh, okay.
So like it was fully his line. Like that was all his. He had his hands in all of it.
Yeah. I'm just highlighting a couple comments. Constantine being Billy
relevant.
Idol. I think that's true. Constantine's like this old punk rock guy, and he looks pretty much like him. Anyway, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jeff, for telling us about that. Did you want to let us know about the Ultimates, or was that a tie-in situation?
Well, I mean, it was coming out simultaneously, and it also featured T'Challa.
Oh, it did. Was this Ultimates 2? Or
this was Ultimates 2. Well, he was in both, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But Ultimates 1 ended, and it basically Ultimates 1 ended because
Secret Wars, right?
Because of Civil War 2.
Yeah.
And because of the brutal character assassination that was going on over there of Carol, T'Challa was like,
it was the worst.
Was like, Carol, you are not really on brand anymore, because like the whole point of the Ultimates was to tackle like these huge cosmic problems, and like she's using this Inhumans dude to like arrest Miles Morales and throw him in jail, and basically T'Challa's like, I'm out. And so Ultimates ends, but then Ultimates 2 starts with there's an even bigger, like crazy mega cosmic event, like catastrophe happening, and Galactus, who is
he's
no
not
longer
a world eater anymore, is he?
That's correct. He's not. Now he's the life bringer, and he wears a gold costume. And so basically he's like, you guys need to help me because shit is going bad. This is Chaos and Order right here, on the cover of this.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
very Marvel Cosmic, and that's the in-betweener right there, right?
Correct. That's the in-betweener, who is basically a creation of Chaos and Order to maintain the balance. And they end up killing him. Like Order ends up killing him, and so they end up. What happens is basically the tribunal. It was the living tribunal.
That's right. Yeah.
Is like, Chaos and Order bring Galactus to court, basically, and they're like, hey, this guy's not devouring shit anymore, and that's not cool, right? Like, we can't be having that. And the living tribunal is like, nah, sorry, like ever since Secret Wars, and now we're in a new iteration of the multiverse that was created after the end of the Secret War with the Hickman Secret War. That all new rules, all bets are off. So he's fine. He can continue to be the Lifebringer. That's cool. And so that's when Order and Chaos are like, well, then fuck you. And then they kill the living tribunal.
Wow, really?
And yeah,
Jeez.
It's all downhill from there. Like, this comic is the opposite of a slow build, because Ultimates 2 is only 10 issues long, and like it's just like insane cosmic action from the very first second. Yeah, there's your boy Ego, the Living Planet. Christian Ward does a lot of the covers. Travel Foreman does the majority of the interiors.
I'm a Foreman fan.
There's a couple of other artists who fill in the like.
Is Ryan Brown? Is that what the guy's name is, or no?
No,
Koch
I don't.
is the artist. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yeah,
Oh, that's
I
Brown
don't know
with
who
an
that
E.
Koch is, but he was very good. I think his name is Auld, AULD,
Wow. All right, cool.
Coach or Coke or Koch, whatever. But they were very cool. I have no idea what gender they might be or how to pronounce their name, but the art was cool. So yeah, I that was very crazy and fun and like high energy. Stuff's always happening. And like he pulls in a lot of stuff, like he references New Universe stuff, like there's Cyforce and other New Universe shit. I'm not super keyed into New Universe stuff, but New Universe stuff aside from the stuff that Hickman introduced in his Avengers run when he was, like Hyperion and all that shit. He did all that. And Starbrand, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I love the Hickman Avengers stuff. He did crazy stuff with all of the characters that I totally like.
So yeah,
Sam,
this ties in some of that stuff. It ties in some of Dan Slott's Silver Surfer run. It ties in tons of the like old, classic Marvel cosmic shit, like the Jim Starlin and all that stuff. Like, and the art is crazy good. Whenever like Travel Foreman is just like a trippy artist. He's
I
good.
read Ultimates with Al Ewing writing.
Kenneth Rocafort.
Oh, those are good.
Was that his name?
Yeah.
Was that his name?
Yeah.
Rockford, yeah. And like Travel Foreman is, I feel like, is a good transition from because they have like a similar kind of, and that's the best Rocafort, whatever his name is. That's the best.
I like his sideways.
That's my favorite art of his because it's like it's really out there. Like he's doing, they do all kinds of like the point of the team is, and it's a really good team. I like the assemblage of characters because like they're all insanely powerful. So like it's like a mega like cosmic powered Avengers basically. It's like because you got the Blue Marvel and you got
Blue Marvel
and you got Captain Marvel.
What was her name? Do you remember? Prism?
And then you have the other Captain Marvel.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Or whatever her name is at the time. I don't know. Photon, whatever.
Photon? Yeah.
No, I don't think she is anymore.
Monica. They just call her Monica. And like she and Adam, the Blue Marvel, they become a thing, like a romantic thing. And they also figure out how to like fuse their powers in such a way where like she, because like she's just a being of living energy and he is a being of essentially antimatter, an antimatter reactor, and they manage to fuse into a like
sounds hot
being that's even more powerful than either of them separately.
Cool.
Yeah. And then Galactus forms his own like ultra cosmic Avengers. Like it's crazy shit. And it's only 10 issues. Like all this shit happens in 10 issues.
Yeah, here we got Hero Fall saying Star is the newest Captain Marvel. And I actually read the first 2 issues of Star. They are if you blinked, you might have missed them. It's Kelly Thompson writing. I don't know who the artist is. J. Scott Campbell's doing the cover, or at least one of them. And I read those when the quarantine happened, and it didn't hurt me to read it, but I don't really remember too much about it. I know that I was never really a big Carol Danvers fan ever. So I think she's already better than Captain Marvel, just to let you know.
Ouch.
Damn. Take that, Carol. You suck. You always have. You may have been okay when you were Ms. Marvel, but you were never Spider-Woman. What are you gonna do? Rogue took you out on her first freaking issue. I'm just not a Captain Marvel fan. There you go. I mean, Marvel, yeah. His son, Genus, yeah. Captain Marvel. But no. Yeah. You're muted. It's okay. Anyhow. Yeah, shots.
I am muted. I was going to say, what about Novar? Marvel boy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's cool. Yeah, I mean,
so you're just a sexist. You like every Marvel who's not Captain Marvel, the lady.
No, well, again, all right, so she...
what about Captain Marvel Shazam style?
I'm not even that big a fan of him either.
Oh, yeah, well, the big red cheese?
He was funny in Justice League, obviously.
Yeah, that's how I fell in love with him, obviously. Okay, I'm going off too. I'm not going to be the only one on cam. I refuse.
Like I said, I was just doing that to be polite.
I understand.
All right. So, everybody, just to let you know, we have a Patreon account. If you're at all inclined, you could drop $1 in there. We appreciate it. It's really helped us as far as being able to take care of the store. And we have some projects that are going to, as we accumulate funds, these projects are going to take place and you will definitely be recipients of it. We'll see how it goes. We're just trying to open the store first. But then we're going to really get the Patreon going and it's going to be a big old machine and you're going to be a part of it. It's going to be great. And we all down below. At the beginning of the month,
look at all those names.
Yeah, we have a ton, and there's more to come. So,
Scruffy Nate.
That's actually 2 people. Well, I don't know who Nate is, but I know for a fact that that's the same. It's 2 people having the same pull list. Some people get X-Men, some people don't. Yeah, I'm sure they all read it together.
Oh man, I gotta get caught up on X-Men. That's one of my that's hopefully coming soon. I don't know.
Our next shipment, if I'm not mistaken, that last issue that came out of X-Men will be in it. So exciting times. Yay. There will be a new X-Men issue if you haven't already got it.
I'm months behind on X-Men though, so it's.
Oh, you are. Oh, you should get caught up. It's great. Have you read?
I'm trying to catch up. I'm catching up on. You see me catching up on stuff from 2017 here.
I'm reading Steel by Christopher Priest and Dennis Cohen, and I want everybody.
So you're talking to me about catching up. I mean,
I've only been reading old stuff. I want everybody to know that Dennis Cohen liked and retweeted the tweet. And he came on the channel and said that he appreciated us talking about it. And that's a thumbs up.
Man. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Props to Dennis Cohen. I love Dennis Cohen.
Yeah, me too.
Also,
I was comparing him to like Byrne and Simonson in places. Didn't take offense to it at all. That's so cool.
That is very cool because I took offense. Like when I was listening to you say that stuff, I was like, how dare you?
Well, I mean, he
looks like himself.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
What are you gonna do? We're all influenced by things, and if you see something and it's like considered good, who cares, right?
Also, I mean, who wouldn't like? I don't think he would could possibly take offense or deny a similarity in style to Walter Simonson. Like they just have a similar line technique. They just are similar. There's really no argument to it, and they're both great. So
I mean, the thing is that I didn't even mention the fact that he did Hardware, which was Milestone and all that stuff in the video.
Ownership property.
Yeah, like part of it at least.
Right.
But, I mean, I love that. Like, that was the one that I gravitated towards of the Milestone books. I was like, Hardware all the way. Got Cohen on it. That's all I need. And, like, it's because of his work on Question.
On Question, yeah.
question all the way. My favorite book, growing up in my late teens.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. It's a book. That's a chunk of trades that are sitting on my shelf that I have not considered getting rid of. Like, whenever I see a chunk of volumes where I'm like, oh, there's I could get rid of that whole series maybe. Do I really need to continue to own Scalped? I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm not getting rid of the question.
No, I love those books. I want to let people know that the only recent new comics I've read recently has been this issue of Green Lantern.
Wait, season 2. When's that from?
It is a couple months ago. Well, I'm sorry. About 5 months ago. This was the start of the new series. And if anybody didn't know, it's, the season 1 of Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp ended.
So this was after, and then there was Black Star.
There was a Black Star 3-issue miniseries.
Right.
And then after that, Green Lantern started up again.
Right.
And this takes place right after the last issue. And basically Hal Jordan is being commemorated for awesome actions that he took, he did, and I love this art. And a lot of it is just very splash page wise, but Liam Sharp's doing fantastic stuff. To me, it's sometimes reminiscent of Neil Adams. It's reminiscent at times of your favorite Green Lantern artists. And at the same time, it's so very much Liam Sharp.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. His panel layouts are fantastic. It reminds me of J.H. Williams when he does Promethea or the Batwoman issues that he works on, especially. Lack of panels, but still telling the story. Look at the sweeping nature of this.
Yeah.
It's just really good. Such good art, and it matches the story. I was in a conversation.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, I know. I was in a conversation where the guys were talking about how much they didn't like Grant Morrison, and kind of like I was talking about earlier, I just didn't say anything because ever since I've enjoyed his work for the very first time, my friends, no matter if it were people that I worked with or people that I was trying to break into comic books with or people that I'm now in chat rooms with, there's always people that don't like Grant Morrison, and I've often and I'm not the smartest guy. So there's not always, instances where I can back up with intelligence on why I necessarily like his work. But I do. And
you like what you like. You don't have to you don't have to justify it.
Down stuff sometimes it doesn't sound like you really have a reason for it. But the thing is Grant Morrison often is a person where I understand 10 years later what I read now, or even better than that, little bits and pieces of what he's giving us now are being exploited later on down the line and not even in its entirety. He does more things in this one issue, more ideas and more thoughts, than you'll get in all of an entire story arc or maybe even a year's story arc. I guarantee you're going to get more things to look back on and examine in this issue than all the 20 parts to the Joker War that's coming up soon. And
wait, who's writing the
hard, but it's so
who's writing the Joker War?
Tinian, and it's going to go through Nightwing and all sorts of other books.
Tinian.
Anyway, they're having this party basically, and they're being bored by this crystalline character. And you kind of get one of those characters that you pawn off on other people. And Hal Jordan. Oh, here you go. You got Jessica Cruz. You got Jon Stewart for a minute.
Love it.
And Hal Jordan finds out that
Simon Baz. Come on, where's
Simon Baz?
Simon.
Again, I love this lack of panels, but at the same time, there are panels. It just really tells the story perfectly. And he gets partnered up with that crystalline dude. And it's a cute little I don't know if it's good cop, bad cop. How about dumb cop, dumber cop? By the rules, not by the rules. And, you get a whole bunch of really cool fight scenes because this planet of Maltus is being taken over by these gorillas. And it's great because Gorillas is very much like the Julie Schwartz days of DC. We're like, get monkeys in there, monkeys sell, that kind of stuff. And this mother who made them has this gem, and it gets found by this dude here. Anyway, hold on a sec. You'll get to it. There it is. There's that gem. I like how he was like, hey, were you helping me out? And the guy's all, the situation is under your control, Lantern Jordan. So he didn't have to help him out at all. And it's really cool. I like how this lady's being tortured. Look at this beautiful page.
That's a great page.
Yeah. And they're just trying to get to the heart of the matter. Just really great art.
His Hal Jordan is so fucking ripped, though.
Yeah. Well, he's
that's fun. No, I mean, most people's everyone is super ripped. It just
yeah, man, give me some veins, baby. Not this guy though. He's not.
I do love Sharpie though, man. He's so good.
Look at this. Is very good. Look at this. So he uses the guy as a refraction.
Yeah.
So he can hit the all the gorillas all at once, and he shrinks them down. Anyway. This was a really good book. I enjoyed it a lot. The second issue comes out tomorrow, and I just wanted to share something new with everybody. Whoop. Boom! Tomorrow. That is our show. Anything else? Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's look at chat before I leave. Daredevil, the god that sees all, is something I don't know I wanted. I don't know which one that is. I'm in the middle of that. Let's see. I loved everything Daredevil, the War of the Realms. Oh, that's right. Well, a blind man having full sight, he's the only one that can handle it. Stick, think about when Daredevil couldn't handle his senses, and Stick had to get retconned into the story as the character that helped him deal with it when he was a child. So then he was there as an adult to help him out. And then, of course, this is the guy of all humans, superhumans, if you will, superheroes. Daredevil would be the guy that could handle Heimdall's sword. Maybe not. I mean, of all humans, maybe.
Of all humans.
Yeah, humans. Let's, what are you going to do? Let's see here. Major X, greatest character ever. And those words, muscles on muscles. Actually, it's funny when you look at Rob Liefeld's work, you don't say necessarily, wow, that's really great work. But there is a undeniable energy that gets translated onto the page, sometimes better than even like the greatest art that you can see on a comic book page. It's kind of like, wow, that's really great, but it doesn't evoke any emotion necessarily. And Rob Liefeld's, for some, it's like disgust. I understand. But when it comes to like telling, like I feel, all right, so when I was trying to break in as a writer, the thing that dude over here that did Life Brigade, it's on a net, hold on. The Life Brigade, this guy's name was Craig Storman. And he told me all new writers always write too much. They don't write. They got to cut out what they write. And I would think that like sometimes when I'm reading that Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther, maybe you should have cut some of it out because that's what Craig said. I mean, and look at him. He got printed in his mom's house living in Manhattan Beach. He told me that he told me, my buddy Eric Cannon, and this guy that we worked with, Tony Santini. There you go. There's some name drops for nobody that knows anything. He told us that he turned down doing the poster for Star Wars, the first movie.
Sounds like a Rory claim.
Hey man, and he smoked these little pinner joints too. Kind of passed them around,
Because he didn't really want to share. Got it.
And didn't want to get too high.
Work is in Life Brigade, and then later on he does Brigade, and Craig was like, "Yeah, he stole that from me." Oh man, that's some deep dive that nobody would know about. So like, clip that right now.
Nobody.
Craig Sturman, he R.I.P. baby, R.I.P.
Oh, it's okay. That's fine.
But he was hilarious. He lived in
Rest in power.
Was it Long Beach, Manhattan Beach? I can't remember what. It was so far away from where I was.
I think those are pretty far away from each other, even in terms of.
I can't remember which. The LBC? Yeah. Anyhow, breaking into comics, a lot of writers they just write too much and just kind of cut it down. And the thing is like you want the pictures to tell the story and you want it to be exciting. And that's kind of like what Rob Liefeld does. And I know it's hard to accept that fact for a lot of people, but it really, really is. Like, he doesn't have to be great. What he does, though, is tells the story of an exciting action story, and it doesn't get bogged down with all that other necessary stuff.
Words.
Plot, word,
story.
Plot, you don't need that. And I mean,
not at all.
Old sometimes. It has a lot of merit. And the thing is like,
see, I'd rather read 150 issues of Ta-Nehisi Coates writing what Rob Liefeld would consider boring Black Panther comics.
Well, let's go back.
Especially even if they're look, yes. Maybe there's not a lot of action happen, although there was still action happening in those comics, even in the very beginning, where it was really just building roads. Like, it wasn't even like there wasn't much happening. I will fully admit that it was just he was laying down groundwork, but still, I'd rather look at groundwork. I'm sorry. I mean, nobody ever wrote.
Justify it. You are correct.
Nobody ever wrote a Rob Liefeld comic in the last 35 years.
What about Alan Moore's Supreme? Nobody read it.
He didn't draw any of it.
Well, that's true. Well, he might have some, but
all he did was own it. He owned a barely qualifiable parody of Superman.
Well, nonetheless,
and all the hard work was done by Rick Veitch and Alan Moore.
It's true. That's true. But even still, I could think about like going back to even the Frank Miller Daredevils. There's a lot of sparseness when it comes to like the issue where the death of Elektra. Spoilers, she dies.
Yep.
She comes back. Don't worry about it. But he's not really.
The hand is good like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's
once
not
a hand, always a hand.
Dialogue. And even when you look at his Ronin, and it is, obviously Frank Miller, one of the echelon guys, top guys, for a time period. You remember iconic moments, and it's not bogged down by dialogue necessarily. There might be a accompanying dialogue that heightens the story, but he doesn't just always just throw down everything all at once. He's not a Bendis when it comes to that. Bendis is a guy that's like, cut that shit out. You got to slow it down, man. And I mean, I'm not saying
but
slow.
Bendis can only do the slow stuff and can't do the big picture. Like, his big stories are always shit. Like, Bendis's overall arcs, like, his strength is only in that small stuff. I feel, and like, he overdoes it, and it's out of place in certain books that he had gotten to write. And I don't know. That's I feel like he's much better at doing those little character moments, except that he does get like muddy up characters. Like he has like 4 characters that he writes, no matter how many actual characters are in the story. He's only writing 4 different characters.
Does those 4 really good, but it's a rinse and repeat situation.
Yes, 100%.
Well, the thing is that like I always thought like you want to write a long sentence and like a short sentence, long sentence, compound sentence. You kind of it's
half,
not
half
as
whole, half whole. That's
exactly. And the thing is like when Bendis is doing these like, all right, this is a slow scene, we got to slow it down. It has been accompanied in a comic book by another scene that did that, and then maybe it was a fight scene that did that. But it's like it's manga. It's one thing to have like a Dragon Ball Z fight go for 2 or 3 episodes or whatever the hell. But this is a comic.
Wish.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Try 20 episodes.
But I know just enough to get part of it wrong. But also,
you're right. You just couldn't have. You could have comedically overestimated and still been accurate.
And there have been many times that I've liked Bendis. Let's see here.
Many times. There have been times.
Many times I've liked Bendis.
Yeah, they were often. They came often and early, and then they fell off. Like when he was writing Daredevil and Powers only, like when those were his, and then Alias.
I like
those 3 things were great.
Yeah.
When they were going at that was when he was at the top of his game, and then
I was really into.
And then I feel like
Goldfish.
I feel like Ultimate Spider-Man is when he.
Funny about that, Rob Liefeld was talking about not having any comics that are worthwhile from like the 2000s to 2010, right? And I think he was specifically talking about like the Ultimate line of comic books. Because he definitely mentioned Bendis and Ultimate Spider-Man, because he was talking about like how there's just a rehash of all the old stuff, like taking the old Kirby and Lee stuff and like lengthening it out, changing it a little bit. Colossus is gay, everybody. Like that's not really making much difference.
It wasn't until like that at the very end of the Ultimate Universe when they really started taking advantage of the Ultimate Universe. And I don't know if it was because the writing was on the wall, but you had like they killed off Peter Parker, and like they like Bendis was constantly doing all kinds of crazy shit. Not Bendis. I'm sorry. Bendis did some crazy shit, and then he killed off Peter Parker. But Hickman came on board the Ultimates at the end and started doing all sorts of weird shit. I don't know. They just started like doing things that they wouldn't have otherwise done in the regular universe, which I thought was the point of it to begin with. But instead it was just like, oh, what if the Mojo verse was first introduced by Brian K. Vaughan and the art was by Stuart Immonen? Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, I guess, but it's not very different from the previous Mojo verse. Like, so who cares? Like, if you're not going to do something radically different, then what is the point of having an additional universe that's running simultaneous to your mainstream universe?
Here, fall, I have a soft spot in my heart for Rob Liefeld. He didn't do the moon faces of Todd McFarlane. If I had to actually like anybody most from the Image 7, it probably would have been Mark Silvestri. Maybe Jim Lee instead.
Are we just talking art? Like just their art? Not their like what their image output actually was?
I thought what I mean is Silvestri. I thought was
because I would go Silvestri. Yeah, me too.
I did not like his X-Men. I liked Jim Lee's X-Men, and his Wildcats was the same.
It was the same, yes.
So,
I mean, by design.
So that's why I kind of throw Jim Lee in
and
there.
And everything since has been the same, also by design.
For the most part,
except for his weird experiments, but like everything that he draws, that's an ongoing. Like if he draws a comic book, like for DC, it's in that X-Men style. Like that's what Hush was. That's what everything that he's done that wasn't like a weird freak experiment. I wish he would do more weird freak experiments because that's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in his X-Men style. Like I would rather have Silvestri's X-Men than Jim Lee's X-Men.
I'm reading his Justice League from the New 52. Whew. It's great.
It's not great.
You don't love it, but it's pretty
also
good.
That was after I had also lost my taste for Jeff Johns. Hey man, there was like I don't know, 4 or 5 year period where Jeff Johns could do no wrong in my eyes. Like he was just firing on all cylinders and everything was gorgeous.
What was his best thing? Jeff Johns.
What was his best thing that he did by himself?
Well, I mean, obviously he doesn't draw, so.
No, well, of course.
What was your favorite thing that he did? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe like the JSA stuff that he was involved in
was really good.
And that was really early on. But like that was what made me say, "Oh, this guy's cool." And then his Hawkman was really good when he was like trying to fix Hawkman.
Jeff Johns really fixed Flash a lot for me. And
oh yeah. His
Flash
was awesome.
Like that was
he did a couple of good Flash, like different Flash runs.
Jeff Johns was good. I mean, he made me read the JSA. People
his Green Lantern was awesome. Like that was when he was really firing on all cylinders, was when he was doing that Green Lantern stuff, like until it got out of control. Like
so you don't like
it eventually started spiraling out of control, and then he just like got out of his head, and it was like, oh, Black Lanterns, White like it was too much.
So Sinestro Corps War and finish off there.
That's pretty much, yeah. Like pinch it off after Sinestro Corps.
Pinch it off,
pinch it off, and you got it.
I agree. Well, on that note, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We're going to have more reviews next week. We might possibly have a review of new comics, but I doubt it. So it'll probably be the next week. If you are a person that shops at Fantastic Comics, we are at 1708A MLK Way in Berkeley, California.
How long until you do a show from there?
Maybe next week.
I'm hoping next Tuesday. Like, because I've got to get out of this place.
That'll be great. We have to.
I mean, I can sit 6 feet away from you.
We have the required people to have the origin episode of Fantastic Comics, where we talk about Image Comics and Eric Larson and Eugene and starting the store and all the events that led up into it. But I kind of want to get James. I kind of want to get it all written down in order so that I at least have an order for it, and it will be an all episode kind of thing. So I want to build towards it, not with viewers necessarily, because I already owe it to everybody anyway. But it's an exciting story, and I think we can milk it and get a few more people to care up until that moment. In the future, I'm looking to have a few giveaways. We'll see how that works out.
Ooh, free.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Oh, free.
Free. It would be comic books, something that we talk about. You can go to past episodes, and we have playlists where you can check out our reviews and things like that. If you're new to this show, you can also follow Yule Carter. My name is right there next to me. Right there.
It's so hard to do.
So hard to do. Right next to me. I am going to be having a guest on that show, Rick Worley, who has a new video on his YouTube channel.
Let me guess.
Now, this is Rick Worley, previously of
New York
Half Price Books.
Half Price Books, yeah.
Previously of Half Price Books.
Previously of
Target.
Target.
a waste of time.
Time.
Hey, I kept my waste of time issues, by the way. When I was going through all my comics, they made it into the don't get rid of these.
That's a high honor, I think.
That is high praise. I mean,
Yeah.
considering that I'm getting rid of like 85% of all my comics. So
his new video came out, is what you're saying?
but is he making comics still?
I think he is, yes. You could follow him on Patreon. I'm sure if you go to his site, you'll find out more about that. He is also on Twitter. I think it's called Blood of the Land, but that's not important. What is important is he has a new YouTube video out. It's 2.5 hours long, and it's all about Woody Allen and the rape allegations with the pharaohs and the whole history as far as that's concerned. And it's all, I've only watched the first 5 or 10 minutes, and it's gripping already. I mean, really gripping. And
I mean, you're gripping in relation to these allegations is none of my business, and I don't think it should be anyone else's business.
So Rick is very sensitive when he comes to having a conversation about what happened. And he doesn't excuse the concept of what is being said. And he's not making light in any way, at least up front. I mean, as I've seen, only a few minutes of this thing, he's not doing it in such a way that he's like demeaning everybody. But he is going to get in the nuts and bolts of it.
I'd watch his video because he's a smart guy.
Yeah, I think he is too. And let me tell you, it already is a very good video, and I can't wait.
2.5 hours though.
That's very long.
Well, he's going to have
watched anything
all
that
the
long.
video of all the damning, testimonies. Rowan Farrow, who is I think he's on Today now or something like that. But he was on MSNBC. He's very influential in the whole Me Too movement. He takes his sister's allegations very
for the New Yorker, famously.
Exactly.
His big exposés came out through the New Yorker.
Thank you very much. And so there's a lot of clout to his name and the things that he says, and it just really isn't super great for like Fantastic Comics. But for the Yul Carter YouTube channel, it's perfect.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
and I like talking to Rick. He's really fun to have a conversation with. So you guys are totally invited to be on that one, but just watch it first. And as everybody else, watch it also and come in and have me grill Rick about that, because I think it's a very interesting conversation, because a lot of people have a problem with Woody Allen for things that he did, obviously, but they're conflating it or totally believing regardless of what is being said because of those things, I think. And I assume that he's going to get into that. But let's not forget, man, he made some really good movies too.
But were they that good?
I don't know. I haven't seen them in a whole long time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the early ones, the comedies. And then I looked at the Wikipedia list.
Like
and
Bananas.
A comedy something. Comedy drama. Comedy, I'm like, bullshit.
Right, but no, the really early ones were comedies.
Yeah, comedies. Yeah, he's 2 comedies. So
not me working out my issues comedies, but like comedies.
I don't know.
So
he made some good movies.
If anybody would like to contact you guys for any reason, is there any way that
no.
You don't want to pimp Paperback Goldmine anymore or anything?
Not at all. Never did. That was always your idea.
No, he was very clearly on record as not wanting to.
I don't want to do any more work.
Don't buy books. Don't contact me.
Don't buy these beautiful books. Look at this.
I have enough trips to the
Good
post
luck.
office. I'm going to die from COVID just because I keep going to the post office. So
I got more I'm going to get
Wait,
from you.
you don't have stamps.com? Why are you going to the post
I'm not
office,
paying
bro?
for that service. I need to go outside. I need to walk around.
I need to go. I'm going to go out and get
Well,
COVID.
so you're working both sides of the aisle. You either want to go outside or you don't want to go outside.
I
Come
want to
on.
go outside once a week. That's it. Leave me alone.
Oh, great. I won't break out when I read these.
You know where those came from, right?
Where?
Those were the two of the books donated by T. Quilly.
All right. Very good.
So,
including the comedies, exactly.
All right. We've gone long, though. I need to get out of here.
Yeah, we've gone long.
For tuning in. We'll see you next week. It'll probably only be an hour and a half.